Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Triad of the Fours podcast, a podcast from Puerto Rican friends coming together to do deep dives into Star Wars and other nerd-related media. This is season 4, and today we will be talking about Star Wars Celebration 2023. We know it already passed, it was good fun, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about it yet. So we're going to go into what the reveals were, some of the favorite panels, and what we're really looking forward to from Star Wars this year that was announced. Now, some of us, sadly, weren't able to cross the pond to go to Star Wars Celebration, but we got to watch some of the really cool live content that they had, and it really seemed like this celebration was really special. It looks like one of the ones that were like super fun, but we don't have to wonder because our co-host here, Goose, actually went.
Is that true? Did I go?
Panels,
oh my god, that's right.
And we get to listen jealously as you describe how awesome Celebration was this year.
Not jealous. It's all we're all
awesome,
in it.
Wasn't it?
We're all. It was. I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible. I'm not gonna mince words here. It was pretty dope. And the great thing about it has been kind of see the evolution of celebrations. This is the 4th celebration that I've been lucky to be a part of, and each one has been completely different, and it has been just an evolution in the triad journey, so to speak. Because the first one that we attended, and we attended that one together, was Star Wars Celebration Orlando back in.
We thought we were too cool for school. And
we were too cool for school. We didn't make friends with anybody. We didn't get into almost any panel, though we did get into that Rebels panel, which was incredible. So that was just a small taste of what was to come.
And we did start a mini riot. So
we did start. No, it wasn't a mini riot. It was a full. It was a full on riot. Sorry, Lucasfilm. It was before we did this. So don't punish us now.
We weren't the triad yet.
We weren't the triad yet, even though it was there, right? Mo was there. You and I were there. The talks were beginning. Hosbando was there. Your brother was there. It was really special, Even though we didn't make friends with the community, we had like our own little circle. Which even though we failed at almost everything we proposed for ourselves for that convention, it was still a lot of fun. Then it was Chicago, and Chicago. Did we already have Triad by Chicago? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And Chicago was Mo and I and some of my coworkers, and that was starting to break the shell a little bit and try to meet new people, even though we kind of failed a little bit at that. Got into some of the panels, so we're able to kind of participate a little bit more into what the convention has to offer. Obviously, since it was Chicago, we got able to do like some of the after events in the post celebration circuit, which is where most of the fun is. As much as the convention is fun, like what I've been learning more is like it's more about hanging out with like the group of people that you are with,
so like
not just
in the morning.
Some nights, not every night, but some nights, maybe most nights. You just have to be there to find out. And then Anaheim was the first one. As Triad, we were very lucky to have that panel, and by then, like we knew a couple of the other podcasters and community members, so we were able to kind of connect a little bit more. And I feel like now London was kind of like the not culmination, because hopefully we get to go to more conventions in the future. But a culmination in the sense that like everything kind of fell into place and things went well. We were able to attend the panels that we wanted to attend. We were able to meet a bunch of new people. We were able to hang out with the people we wanted to hang out with, do all the things that we wanted to do after the convention. It was really, really special, really, really magical. We were able to get into like a couple of things that we weren't expecting to get into. For example, like I don't know if we can talk about it, but I'm going to say it. There was a press conference for Vision Season 2 that we were able to be a part of and participate in. And, that was weird. I've never been in a press conference. So to all of a sudden be kind of backstage at the convention and, to be with all the creators there, like you see it in the news and shit. Like there's the big ass table with everyone sitting there and just like everyone taking turns asking questions and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a press conference. What is this?
This is real.
Like my name is on the list. What is this? What is this? is this
And for
reality?
it to be Visions too, because I'm
And
really looking forward to Visions.
and
So
for it to be
May the 4th.
Visions, and for it to be Visions with Visions,
Mhm.
that panel was unbelievable. It's out of this world, and we got to see one of the episodes there. I'm so excited for Visions, and we'll talk about like
Yeah.
all the panels in a little more detail a little further down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Star Wars Celebration was a lot of fun, a lot of fun, a lot of fun, too much fun. Well, can you have too much fun? I don't know. I'm gonna go with no on that one because we made it, we survived. So clearly
Yeah.
the fun did not kill
The
us.
problem is the post fun, like, oh, I have to go back home. Blues.
Yes, that was seriously like you always get a little sad when you have to go back home, but like this time I was okay. I'm not gonna say miserable. That's
A
I
little
wasn't
too far.
miserable because it's like some people have some people go through shit. This was it was sad because it was like I had such a great time with such amazing people with all my good friends. With Alden and Sean, Alex, Molly, Chase. All
Yeah.
these incredible content creators that have not only been peers and people that we collaborate with, but now we're very lucky enough to call them friends and to hang out with them. And then obviously I got to spend couple of days afterward in London with John, who's
Yeah.
a very
And
good
it
friend
was
of
your
mine here
first
in
time there,
Chicago.
right?
It was my first time in London and
Mhm.
my first time in Europe in like I think maybe 10 years or something. So it was, it was really, really, really cool to have that experience. That's why like I'm
Right.
really excited for Japan because hopefully we're able to save up enough money for 2025 to be
Because
able to
that's a
do
trip.
that. Because
Yeah.
but that's the cool thing though. Like
I know.
Star Wars
Yeah.
Celebration, awesome. But to be able to then plug it into like a larger
Yeah.
trip of where you're actually seeing new things and new experiences, new cultures and
Right.
new places. It's really a gift that I was not expecting Star Wars to give me because I
Yeah.
thought Star Wars would be just like this thing that I consume, that I read the books, I watch the
Yeah.
movies, and that's it. But now we've been so lucky
I
through
know.
the podcast and through the conventions to expand what Star Wars has given us in terms of experiences because I don't think I would have gone to London uh, if it wasn't because of Star Wars
Right.
Celebration. Like I mean
Because you would have thought,
maybe down
yeah.
the line, but like
Yeah.
to go so prominently and be like, okay, no, I'm going to London because of Star Wars. It was truly magical.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep rambling
And
here,
Star
but
Wars in Japan has to be fucking epic.
yeah,
It has to
yeah,
be.
it has to be. And I've always wanted to go to Asia. I always wanted to go to
Mhm.
China and Japan. So maybe maybe it's meant to be. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can. Maybe you'll be done with law school by then. So
Yeah.
get to
Hopefully
planning.
I would have passed the bar already too.
Oh
So.
my God, you will pass the bar. But irregardless, come to Japan.
Come,
Come
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 to Japan.
come to us. Come with us. Everyone missed you. You were missed. People asked for you. You are the star of Triad. So like people want to see you. They don't want to see me. So
Oh no.
you need to make your triumphant return to the Star Wars
Uh-huh.
celebration as Triad.
As Triad.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. They are really. We've met a lot of really incredible people through this that I don't think we would have met, and people that are into the things that we are and love Star Wars as much as we do, and it's been a really great
Hmm.
experience. So I was sadly watching the live content, like I want to be there, but sadly I couldn't make it. But they had some really cool things. There was
Hmm.
fantastic coverage. The setup this year looked amazing, and
Hmm.
there was so much cosplaying. People looked great.
Hmm. Hmm. I will admit that as someone who will probably let's never say never.
Never
As
cosplay.
someone who will probably well, I don't want to say never because then like maybe 10 years down the road you end up doing it and you're just like well, I shouldn't have
Mhm.
said never because I did it. But
Yeah,
someone who will probably not do it. I respect that, like the level of commitment and passion
yeah,
that these cosplayers have to like put up these costumes. It's really and confidence, right? Because it takes
yeah.
confidence
Oh
too
yeah.
to
Hmm.
do it. It's really beautiful to see, and I respect it, man. It's amazing because you see the whole plethora, right, of cosplayer from
Right.
kind of very DIY. I mean, they're all DIY, but you know what I mean. Kind of like a
Yeah.
very DIY, low budget thing
Yeah.
that is not as advanced as some of the other
Yeah.
cosplayers, but still be able to like be confident, and be like, yeah, this is what I was able to do,
Yeah.
and like, eh, and then
And
see like
still
the
look
other
awesome and
level. and have everyone kind of come together. It's
Yeah.
incredible to see.
When they
So,
interact with each other and everything, even though it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
planned, that's super cool when that happens.
yes.
Yeah.
So my hat's off to. I would actually take off my hat, but Alex Damon stole my Puerto Rico baseball
That is
hat.
correct.
Alex Damon stole it. I will not mince words here. He's a thief. And right now, my Puerto Rico baseball hat is in Atlanta, Georgia. That is not. That is not how I thought my hat would end up in Atlanta, Georgia, just by having Alex and
Well,
Molly
it's still on
Damon
a cop band helmet, so it has a
It
nice
is.
place to
It
be.
is. It is. It is. So there's war. There's war. I
Yeah.
don't know if the
That
war's
was
coming to
hilarious when that
Atlanta
happened, though.
or something,
So good.
but I will recover it. So Alex, we're
Watch your back.
watch your back. Watch your back. I'm kidding. Obviously, I drunkenly left it and there because we
Alex
were
rescued it.
Alex rescued it because we were all having drinks on Monday because Monday was the best day. Monday, even though it's like the last day of the convention, it was like the day that most of us kind of got together, and we ended up just having drinks with Alex and Molly and like a little crew like at their hotel room. And once you're like at post 2 a.m, your mind's not really tracking where you're.
Hats
Some
are
of
not
your
that important anymore.
No, they're not that important anymore. And yeah, I wake up to like a DM from Alex with just him wearing my hat, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that happened.
There it is. Mhm.
But hey,
Now
it's
it
still
cameos on Star Wars.
now
Star Wars
it
Explained.
cameos. Now it cameos in Star Wars Explained.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
maybe
It's in a good place.
maybe
It might
that's
be in a
why
better place.
it might be in a better place. And maybe I'm not saying this is a fact or not, but maybe that's why I haven't given them my address so that they can't send it to me back. So it's still cameos on their channel for
Star
a
Wars
couple more
Explained.
minutes. I won't confirm it. I'm just saying that
Yeah.
it's within the realm of possibility.
It's a possibility.
It's a
Yeah.
possibility. Yes. But you were able to then see, because that's the thing. Like when I was at the convention, I was checked out. I wasn't checking what was happening
Right.
outside in the real world. So I did hear that there were some panels that streamed. So you were able to catch some of the panels. What panels were you able to see streaming? Which is actually very nice because in Anaheim they did not stream the panels, which was kind of a BS move.
I know that is kind of really BS. I saw a bunch of the interviews like on the main live stage, which was really cool. But the panels per se, I caught Andor, which obviously Andor, and Obi-Wan actually. So those two were really good.
Those were really good.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep. So I was really excited to see that. I loved both those shows. I know they kind of, I don't know why people tend to like compare and one's better than the other one. They were both different. They were both really good. And it's great to see all these people that love Star Wars involved and seeing the love for people like Hayden Christensen who got a lot of backlash for a lot of years. And it's always really nice to see it when he gets the love that he so much deserves. And,
Him and Ahmed
that stash.
him and Ahmed Best, man, like I feel so happy for them to be able to finally have the fandom kind of rally in unison in positivity for their returns. Because like let's be honest, like I've seen a lot of outlets be saying redemption. And no, they don't need redemption. They did their jobs and they did it passionately. The people that need redemption is us who were kind of like vicious, who were vicious against them during that time when they never deserved it. They were people just doing a job and they did that job with love and passion. And for us to be so ungrateful and spoiled to antagonize them for something that we never should have happened. It's kind of beautiful to see like the return of the fandom to be like, oh, we were wrong, and it's time to give them that love. So to see them kind of get it, it's, like Yoda would say, it brings warm feelings to my heart.
It does.
So you weren't able to catch the showcase. What panels weren't you able to see?
Well, because I would check in from the live stream in and out because I couldn't, the reason I couldn't go to Celebration was because I didn't have the time because I had to study. So I couldn't be glued to my TV the whole time.
I mean, you could have.
I could have. I guess I could have. But I caught, a lot of the announcements and the trailers, obviously, and stuff. But I didn't catch everything. I'm sorry. I'm a bad fan.
No. There's no such thing. The only bad fan is a fan that shames other fans for the things that they like.
Right.
Because we should fan the way that we want to fan, and that's the only good way to fan. It's like on your own terms, and those terms are fine unless your terms are about invalidating someone else's experience. So,
True.
so you're good. You're good.
Oh,
So let's
thank
let's 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 talk about the showcase because that was the first big panel
you.
of the convention. It was on Thursday. When the hell did it start? Oh, it started on Friday. It was
Friday.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 4 days.
Mhm.
Friday was the first day, and they started out with a bang. Like I honestly wasn't sure what to expect from the showcase. We had been hearing rumors and reading articles online that they were going to announce some new films, but
Yeah.
when I was reading that, I was taking it with a grain of salt because I was like, how many times have we been hearing Lucasfilm talk about a
Yeah.
movie? Well, whether it's the Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron, whether it's the Ryan Johnson
Yeah.
trilogy or Taika Waititi's film, like we've gotten so many announcements of films that have either been quietly canceled or they
Yeah.
keep kind of
Just
pushing
kind
out
of. Yeah.
the sweeping under the rug. That I'm just like, okay, well, do I really believe you? Do I really believe you? And the answer
And
is
especially because
now, maybe, maybe.
we'll see if they actually get done. But yeah, we've talked a lot here about how Star Wars thrives in the theaters and how much we
Yes,
have been looking forward to films coming back to Star Wars. So now that they announced that there's three possible projects, I'm excited.
I'm over the moon. But before we get into like the movies, let's they
Yeah.
were talking about the TV shows first, and they talked
Okay.
about like obviously let's get the and I say this in the kindest way possible, the most boring one out of the way, which is Andor season 2. I'm not saying boring because we're not excited for it, but it's because we know it's
Yeah.
coming, right? So it's not really,
Yeah.
it wasn't really an announcement. It's like we know it's coming,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
was still incredible because Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna were on stage, our old friends, Tony and because we took a picture with Tony Gilroy,
Both
and
of
you
them.
took a picture, and you took it. No credit where credit's due. You took one with Diego. I did not. So he's your friend. Tony's our friend. And to see them back on
Mhm.
the stage, let's the homecoming. It's like, hey, all our
Right.
friends are coming back together,
Hola,
and it was Dieguito, and it was so cool to kind of like get them back to kind of talk passionately about like why Andor means so much to so many of us, and they gave
Yeah.
us a little teaser trailer for season 2, and it was everything that we hope to see. It's just like, oh man,
Yep.
this is the epicness and scope and grandeur of Andor
So
season
looking
one
forward to
just
it.
just continues, and it's
Mhm.
yeah, I don't want to diminish Andor season 2 because it's a show that I'm probably one of the most shows that I'm most excited for
Yeah.
next to Acolyte and Ahsoka. Actually, I'm excited for all the shows. Maybe not Skeleton
Yeah.
Crew, but we'll get to Skeleton Crew. But yeah, like it's like I I don't really remember too much of what the teaser showed. It was just like just lots of awesome scenes. I
Yeah.
didn't record it because I'm not one of those people. There's probably a leaked version of the trailer somewhere online,
Somewhere.
so
Yeah.
I'm sure if you go on Reddit, you'll be able to find it. But that was really cool. That was really cool. So Andor out of the way, then we get Ahsoka and holy cannoli.
That teaser. That teaser.
Holy cannoli, that teaser. And there were two versions of the trailer, by the way. There was the trailer that they
Mm.
showed on the showcase, and then the trailer that was on the Ahsoka panel. I
Yeah.
unfortunately was not able to get in. That's the only panel that I was not able to get into, the Ahsoka panel.
Okay.
Uh, but I was able to see the trailer because
Yeah.
of I'm not gonna reveal my sources,
Things
but I was
because
able
of
to see it.
things.
It was obviously not a high def trailer.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I really needed to see it, and it was basically the same trailer, just with a couple of new extra scenes. They showed Thrawn's face at long last, which I was worried about, but then when I see it in the trailer, I'm like, okay, okay, let's go,
Okay.
let's
Okay.
go, let's go. We're ready. They
And
also
it's
showed
the voice actor from Rebels, right? Who's
it's
playing
Lars it's Lars
Mhm.
Mikkelsen back in the
Mhm.
role, so that's pretty cool. Then we get to see another part that we see in this new trailer that we didn't see in the showcase trailer was Sabine using. Are you ready for this? Using Ezra's green lightsaber.
Ooh.
It's like one scene where she like wraps the lightsaber, then
Yeah.
another one where she like turns it on. It's like, oh Lord,
Oh,
oh
thank
Jesus,
you.
and like sweet baby Jesus, let's go. Uh, so I'm hyped for that. That trailer released, so you
Yeah.
were able to see it. What did you
Yes.
think?
I because I've been saying I have mixed feelings about Ahsoka. I don't know why. I just do, but this trailer got me really excited for it. I love how many characters we're getting. It's just for anybody who's a fan of animation, these
Hmm.
it's Rebels. It's Rebels in live action, and
It's
I'm so
Rebels in
here
live
for it.
act. Yes, yes, and it looks
It
it's look
looks
like exactly what you want it to
amazing.
look.
Yeah,
Lothal
it's
looks incredible.
the Loth cat you see for like a second. I was like, oh my god! Like even the Loth cats they're keeping. I
Right.
mean, I'm incredibly upset. It just hits me in the gut every time that I remember that Kanan Jarrus is dead, and we won't get to
Whoa,
see.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
But everything about it, I really love the casting that they've
Hmm.
done. Everybody, Hera looks great. Sabine looks
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
The lightsabers look fantastic. Ezra, Thrawn, but in that version, obviously, I only get the back of his head, but he looks imposing already, so I'm excited. And there's been so much buildup, especially once you brought Thrawn into already in Mandalorian. Like
Hmm.
everybody's waiting for the return of Thrawn. So, and then
Ah.
they drop heir to the Empire in there, like
Oh,
Ahsoka
that
herself
line,
saying
that
it.
line just gave me goosebumps. When I was like, where's my book? Where's my book? I'm just like, well, the minute they said, it, I'm just like, God damn it! They said the thing. They said the
They
thing.
actually said it. Yep.
Oh my god! What did you think though of because there's been a lot of commotion, lots of hubbub online about the lightsabers that the Darksiders. Let's not call them Sith. There's no Sith in the galaxy anymore.
Right.
But these Darksiders are using because they have like orange cores instead of the
Right.
white cores. I think they look incredible. But
I think they look awesome too.
some people are up in arms. It's like, well,
Yeah.
lightsabers, lightsabers. Disney doesn't understand Star Wars anymore. The cores are supposed to be white. What do you think? Are you upset that they have a different look, or were you on
I
board? 'Cause
am
when I
not
saw it, I was like,
upset.
let's go.
I'm on board. I thought they looked super cool. And it's okay for things to not
Be
always look the
different, yeah.
same. Yeah. I
The
mean,
dark
there's
saber doesn't have a white core, right? And people are totes my goats okay with
love.
it,
Yep.
right?
So I don't know. I think people focus sometimes on the stupidest things, honestly.
Right. It's a sense of entitlement. They're like, oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
like, oh, Star Wars can only be the thing the way I
yeah,
defined it,
that I want it to be.
based on the
Yeah.
things that
Mhm.
like I've seen in the past. And it's like these people that won't ever let it grow, which is
Which
always
is the
odd
same people
because
that were complaining about Obi-Wan and stuff.
well,
It's
it's the
like,
same
dude,
people
no.
that complain about the
Ugh,
prequels too. It's just like no, Star
yeah,
Wars is only the thing that I saw in the in the original trilogy,
yeah,
and it's like, dude, like George Lucas will be doing the same thing. George Lucas was always
of course.
reinventing, adding things, and
Hmm.
kind of recontextualizing the context that we've already had. So we want new stories and we want things to feel fresh and new, and it's okay. It's okay. And one of the theories I've
And
been
it looks
reading
cool.
and it looks cool. So
Yeah.
George Lucas always wrote Star Wars with the rule of cool in mind. George Lucas
Yeah.
never cared about continuity. He never cared about like how things made sense. He's
Yeah.
like, no, this is what the story I want to tell, and
This
I
looks
want to make it
cool.
look
Hmm.
cool. So the rule
Yeah.
of cool is what rules. And like those lightsabers look amazing. And one of the theories that I was reading about them that I'm actually really on
Mhm.
board with is that they're actually reviving the Sith lightsaber kyber crystal thing from the original canon before it was decanonized. Because back in the olden days, before the new canon with the Disney acquisition occurred, Sith users used synthetic kyber crystals to power their lightsabers. Now we know that like it's a different process where they corrupt a kyber crystal by
Right.
bleeding it, and
Mhm.
that's the process that Sith lightsabers use. But the theory I was reading is that these have a orange core and are different because they are
These are
synthetic.
actually the
Those
synthetic.
are synthetic crystals. And I read. I mean, obviously it's a theory. We don't have
Yeah.
that confirmed, but I read that and I was like, that's clever. That's a really
I'm
good
okay with
way.
that.
Like I like because if
Mhm.
that's true, it's like I think Filoni's being really clever and like how he's bringing back things from the old
Right.
EU into new canon to not only bring it back but also tie it into like the canon at large. So
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm in it. I'm on board. Like I saw a trailer and I was like, boom, goosebumps all over the place.
Yeah. So I am really excited now to see. It's like I said, it's live action Rebels, and I'm there for it. And to see the ghost and just everything. I'm really, really excited. So
We'll see if we get Zeb. We must, right? Because we saw him in
we
Mando, so
saw
there's no
him.
reason for
Yeah.
him not to be here. Maybe at a lesser capacity, because I'm sure it's really
Yeah.
expensive to
Yeah. To
have a
yeah.
full CG character like him in a show. But
Mhm.
Hey, but he looked amazing in Mando.
He looked amazing.
So we'll see. The next
Yep.
show, that's the one that I'm probably the most excited about, is the Acolyte. And the
Oh, the
panel for the
Acolyte, yeah.
Acolyte was absolutely incredible. Leslie Hetland was, so passionate in her delivery about how they're doing this show and like how she wants to tie in to the books, because that's one of the concerns, right? So it's like, okay, well, we're making a
Yeah.
show like in this era of the High Republic, but is it like, are we gonna do a J.J. Abrams, right? Where sorry guys, J.J. Abrams was like, I don't care about the canon. I just want to do my own
Yeah,
story. Or is it gonna be like a balance between the two? Because it's not
right.
either or, right? You can do your own story, but also work within the Lucasfilm story group and everything to make sure that it fits within the narrative that we've already been constructing for the High Republic. And it was so uh, good to see her confirm that yes, that she's been working with the authors and the story group and everything to
Yeah.
make sure that this story fits within
Fits into, yeah.
everything that we're talking about. We got the confirmation that Vernestra Rowe is going to be in the show as an adult, because we've been seeing her as a teenager, like in the books and stuff. So exciting. They gave us a trailer, and the trailer was. Danny, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you guess. Do you think did I like the trailer? Or did I not like the trailer?
You fucking loved it.
I fucking love that goddamn trailer. Because it was so beautiful. Like the cinematography of it was just like on its own, just incredible. But then the tone of the show, you can feel the sense of foreboding and darkness within it. And it's also presenting the Jedi in a kind of a different way than we've seen them. Because
Yeah.
obviously these are the Jedi like at the height of their powers in the High Republic, so they're
Mhm.
supposed to be more powerful than what we've seen thus far, and they
Yeah. Which I love
nailed
that
it.
they actually said like, yeah, the bad guys are numbered in
Oh,
this
yeah,
era.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
But they nailed the look, because one of
yeah.
the things that Leslie was saying is that they were looking at like since George Lucas's references were like old westerns and samurai
Right.
films. He always like look to the past of filmmaking to like inform the films that he
Yeah.
was doing with Star Wars. So she was kind of doing the same thing with acolytes, like what from other resources can I pull from to kind of freshen up Star Wars. One of the things
Yeah.
that she was looking at was wuxia films, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like all those, like
Yeah.
House of a Flying. I
Mhm.
forgot the name of that film, but like all those classic Chinese films. And
Yeah.
one of the things that once you saw the trailer, you could tell exactly what she means, because there's a Jedi, there's Carrie Ann Moss fighting, and all of a sudden she's just doing like the
And
Michelle
carry on.
Yeoh, Michelle
Mhm.
Yeoh kind of thing, where like she does the thing, and someone just flies over, and then they just swoop in and like fly and stuff like that. It's just like, oh, and I'm like, oh my god, this
Yes,
is.
please.
I'm like, this
Yes.
is wuxia in Star Wars. This is incredible. Oh, so good.
Ugh,
And
ugh.
obviously, an extremely diverse cast, which is what we want to see in
Well, ever
Star
since
Wars.
they announced the cast, I was so blown away. I mean,
Yes.
it's insane, the cast. It's so good. And I love that we're getting High Republic stuff. There's so many fans. You could see there were a lot of
Yeah.
High
Yeah.
Republic cosplaying there. Like
High
people are really
Republic,
excited
it was
about
it was
this.
mind blowing, because High Republic
Yeah.
last year was in one of the smaller stages. It was in the Galaxy stage, and it's gotten
Mhm.
so big that the panel for this year for High Republic was actually at the celebration stage.
Oh
So
wow.
it's
Okay.
it's been
It's
very
a
well
it's a
received.
movement. I
It's a
love it.
movement.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
Mhm.
Yes. Eh,
Mhm.
and then the closing shot of that trailer kind of gave me goosebumps, because it was all of a sudden it's just like all the Jedi from the trailer are just like walking up to, like, they're gonna face some threat, and as they're walking up, I'm like, are they gonna do the thing? Are they gonna do the thing? And all of a sudden, all the Jedi just
All the
ignite
lights.
their lightsabers, and then the trailer just cuts to black, and I'm like, they did the thing. And I got the same goosebumps I got like when I saw Attack of the Clones for the first time, and that scene in
Yeah.
Geonosis when like all the Jedi are lighting up their lightsabers, and
Yep.
I was like, what? My
I'm a
small
kid
my
again.
yeah, my
Yes.
child mind back then was
Yeah.
blown away. Like I felt that exact same way watching the Acolyte trailer at the end when everybody just lights their lightsabers. I was just like, oh yes, my body, and my soul is ready for this.
Yeah.
It was so good, so good. Really, really, really good. They should have released that trailer, honestly, because it was it
Yeah.
was that good. We need to get the hype going for the Acolyte, because
I know. I
people
heard
people
that
need
there
to get
was
on
one,
board.
and I was so upset that I went looking for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was like, I need
Reddit,
it.
Reddit.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess. But they should release it to get more hype on it because the
Oh yeah,
show looks like it's going to be really special and completely different from anything we've seen. And
Mhm.
obviously, there's going to be the haters that are going to find something about it that they don't like.
They're not gonna,
But
but these are the people that are not gonna like anything. So
yeah,
you can't cater to them. You can't
I know.
reach
Hmm.
out to them because they don't want to. So it's
Yeah,
just at this
they
point, it's
just
just like
hate for hating's sake.
they
Yeah,
hate for hating's sake, and it's you
it's
can't
sad
do anything.
because there's so much good stuff.
You can literally give them what they've said, like, oh, let's just do the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and you can do that, and they won't like it. They'll find
Oh no, they won't
something,
like anything. Yeah.
and
Oh,
so
definitely.
it's just like forget it, man. It's like shit or get out the pot. It's like if you don't like Star Wars anymore, you're not gonna like anything. Just don't watch it anymore. Just stop. But
Yeah,
whatever.
let it be. Hmm.
We've
I
talked
know.
about
We've
toxic
done this.
fandoms a long
Yeah,
time, and Celebration is great because Celebration is full of people that actually want to be there and
I
love it
know.
and want to, enjoy the joy
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
So
and be part of the community that actually enjoys it.
yes,
And just so much positivity. But yeah, the acolyte. I remember when they first announced. Since the moment they announced it, I've been really excited about this, and the more information that we get about it, the more
it's
excited
yeah,
I get about it. So
it's good.
yeah,
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's like
it's
there's
good.
a
It's gonna be great.
big old stupid smile on my
Mhm.
face
Did they
because
actually say when it's getting released?
they probably did, but I don't remember.
Okay, because I
And
know
they
Ahsoka is
changed the
August,
logo.
I
So
think, right?
Ahsoka is August. Ahsoka is
Yeah,
August. So we need to start planning some guests for that.
yeah.
But for Acolyte, I don't remember. I know that they redesigned the logo. Thank God, because I hated the old logo. The new one is very
Yeah,
clean and sharp. I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
very very good
Better,
graphic
thank you.
designer.
Hmm.
Thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
But that's because I'm a graphic design snob. Honestly, that ultimately
I know.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, you are.
Up next, I mean, they talked about Mandalorian, but now Mandalorian's over. We talked about it
Yeah.
before,
Hmm.
so we're not gonna get into that anymore. So the next one was Skeleton Crew, and it was awesome because Jude Law was on stage, and I'm like, oh, I never really expected to be in the same space as Jude Law. That was pretty cool. That was pretty
That's
cool,
cool.
and that is the show that we've known the least about,
Right.
because it's always been kind of shrouded in mystery. And all we know is like it's John Watts and it's Jude Law, and then a bunch of kids, and it's gonna be like
Kids.
Stranger
Yeah.
Things, Amblin in space. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, what does the hell does that mean? And they showed a
Right.
trailer,
Okay.
and literally
It is. That's what it is.
it means exactly that. It was very heartwarming. Really gave me the Amblin vibes. So it was, it was very kid 80s. Like I'm just wanna go on an
The
adventure with
Goonies.
my friend. It was very Goonies. Yes, it was
If
very
it's
Goonies.
Goonies, I'm super into it.
It was very
I
Goonies.
love me some Goonies.
Kids
Hmm.
getting lost in space, and
Right.
then Jude Law kind of rescues them, and then they go off on
Okay.
adventures, and then it's intercut with like their parents, like, "Oh, where are my kids?" type of thing. It's just like I was like,
Right.
"Oh," it felt very heartwarming. It was a
Okay.
different tone of Star Wars than we've ever seen, so obviously I'm not as excited for it as the other shows, but that doesn't mean that it's not because it doesn't look good. It's
Right.
because it's not my 100% cup of
Your
tea.
vibe. Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
will obviously be watching it because based on the footage that they gave us, it looks really, really fun, really, really heartwarming. I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be tearjerker moments because it's
Yeah.
every time you have kids and parents looking for them, there's always gonna be that cathartic moment. It's like, "Mom, I hate you," and then it's like, "I never meant to say that, Mom. I love you."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna get some
Some
Star
good
Wars
stuff.
version of
Some good
that.
stuff that makes us cry. Yeah.
So
And
yes,
it's so fun to see Jude Law so excited about it too. I mean, you can tell that he's a fan of Star Wars, and I love it so much when actual fans get to be involved, with making Star Wars. That has to be such a dream come true. Can you imagine? Like you are
no, I
famous in
can't.
so many
No.
other ways, and then suddenly it's like you are getting to be involved in Star Wars.
Yeah, you
Has,
regress. I
yeah,
would imagine you regress a little bit. It's like, oh shit, I'm a kid. I'm a kid again. Like
yeah.
I'm a grown ass man with like I don't know how many acting awards, been in hundreds of films, and I'm a super
But now I get
celebrity,
to be in Star
and now I
Wars.
get to be in
Give me
Star
a
Wars.
lightsaber.
Exactly. I think that's the
Yeah,
great thing about Star Wars. It just kind of like
I know.
brings us back to like this
Yeah,
sense of innocence that like really
joyful
makes
wonder.
us makes us enjoy
Yeah,
shit a little bit. And I think we could use that a lot in our lives nowadays because the world
yeah,
sucks. The world sucks right now. We live in a very charged political climate where there's attacks on all kinds of marginalized groups for no good reason. Rights are
mhm.
getting taken away from
Completely
women,
trampled.
reproductive rights and shit like that.
Mhm.
So it's really really tough, really tough time, especially a post
Yeah,
COVID world. and all these things. So it's nice to have Star Wars to be like, okay, here, distract yourself
Have
for
some
a couple
happiness.
minutes, have some
Yeah.
happiness. So yeah, I think those were the shows. Obviously, we don't have that much else to say about
Vision season 2, obviously, which is coming
Vision
now on May
season
the
2.
4th.
Thanks for reminding me. That one, I think I'm super, 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 super duper excited for. I think we can say it. Like we were very lucky to get the screeners for Star Wars Visions. We're just starting them. I need to send you the link.
Yeah.
But it's living up to the hype. If you liked season 1, season 2 is just gonna go to the
Yeah.
next level. And that panel was
Turn it up to
truly
11.
yeah. No,
Mhm.
for realsies though.
Yeah,
And that
because
panel was just
season 1
incredible.
really was one of my favorite things that Star Wars has done. I loved Visions so much. And then obviously I'm partial to Japanese animation because I love
Mhm.
anime, but having all these different cultural backgrounds do a take on Star Wars is just so cool. When the trailer came out, because I haven't got a chance to see the episodes yet, but just the trailer, I'm so excited. I got goosebumps. It's
Mhm,
so
mhm.
cool to see everybody's different take on this. I love stop motion clay animation as well. So I was really excited to get a few of those with that type of animation. And I'm just really, really looking forward to Vision season 2. I love it when you're not constrained by what the canon tells you that it is, and you can
Mhm,
just
mhm.
make Star Wars whatever you want it to be. And it's so cool to see people, just like break out of that box and make amazing, amazing Star Wars. So I'm
And,
really
and
looking
and not
forward to
just
that.
that. I mean that's obviously like one of the great things about it, but also the fact that they don't have to limit themselves to an
Mhm.
aesthetic of what Star Wars can look like, and they can
Right.
be as artsy and crazy as
Yeah.
they want to be. And a lot of these shorts, even more so than season 1, are really pushing the envelope of like art, because these are art pieces. Honestly, like they're
Right. Hmm.
they're so beautiful, and I'm really glad that we're getting a lot of animation, because I think sometimes animation gets kind of the short end of the stick in terms of like the stories it can
Yeah.
tell, and I think we're seeing a renaissance of like animation getting like more prominent acceptance in terms of like storytelling. Maybe it has to do with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio and all that stuff, but like having animation be more at the
That
forefront
was
and
so
be
good.
be
Pinocchio.
be very aggressive, right, in terms of like how it wants to
Yeah.
push the envelope in terms of like its
Yeah.
aesthetics and its
Yeah.
styles. It's really really good to see. And
Yeah.
Vision season 2
May the 4th.
delivers. I
Yeah.
haven't
I
finished
mean,
it, but so
yeah.
far,
Yeah. Yeah.
wonderful.
And there really is so much more that you can get away with in animation. You can be so much weirder and so much more creative with animation. So I've always been a fan. So having Star Wars more involved in it, so good.
It's all good, and we'll be able to talk about it a little bit more around May 4th. So stay tuned for that, because we will
Yeah.
be giving our initial review of Star Wars Vision Season 2 once the review embargo lifts, and then after that, we will go more in depth and talk about the episodes. But
Yeah. Mhm.
Pride is very excited, especially for the Funk Robot. I think they're the Chilean studio
Uh-huh.
that's doing like their the short for Visions, and it was really great to see that panel after the Triad panel, because Triad was on, yeah, we did our Triad panel on Sunday, and then Visions was on Monday. And during the Triad panel, we were discussing like how we want to see like more representation, like
Yeah.
stories about the Latinx and Latina community, and like our historical backgrounds and cultural backgrounds and struggles, colonialism, all those things kind be reflected on screen more, because Andor was a good step, but now we need to get moving
Right.
forward. And then all of a sudden, I'm at the Visions panel,
Visions.
and then Gabriel, who's like the director, who's like the punk robot dude, says those exact same things, and I was
And you're
just
like,
like,
yes.
I'm like, Lord, baby Jesus, it's like we made it, ma, we made it. Here we are.
Mhm.
So very very excited to talk about Visions as
Okay.
a whole, but particularly that
So yeah.
short, because I think I just saw it and it delivers.
That's one of the claymation ones, right?
Yes. I don't know if it's actually claymation or like,
Right. Or
CG
just
made to
stop
look like that.
motion. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yes, it's one of those, and it
Yeah.
was beautiful. Like I was tearing up and everything.
Just
But
just from the clip, it looked amazing. So I can't wait to see it. Send me the link.
I will. But that's all the shows. That's all the shows. And then we have the announcements that everyone sorry, the announcements that everyone was waiting for, which is the films. We talked a little bit about Indiana Jones, but we'll talk about Indiana Jones later when we do our second
actually-
episode with Alex about oh my God, Temple of Doom and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And we'll talk a little bit more of the Dial of Destiny then. But all the movies that were announced, it was kind of a breath of fresh air because I was not expecting the things that they announced, especially the last announcement. So we'll get to the last one last.
Oh yeah.
The first one they announced, which I was very surprised that they were going in this direction, was because it was funny because they had like the timeline of Star Wars,
Okay.
how it currently sits, right?
How it currently looks like.
Yeah, and they have the icon for High Republic, then the fall of the Republic. So all the icons as we know them now. That's usually like in
Right.
all the books with all the icons for that, and it goes up until fall of the First Order, so whatever. It's how the current canon is laid out now with all the icons.
Right.
And all of a sudden, as Kathleen Kennedy is describing it, the kind of icon, the kind of timeline kind of grows, and it injects like a couple of new icons into it. One is like the Prime Jedi that we see in the Last Jedi, like first. Then is the Old Republic. So I was like, oh shit, we're gonna do Old Republic. They didn't talk about Old Republic stories, but the fact that they added the icon of the Old Republic into the timeline, it's like, oh, very interesting.
Possibilities.
And then at the end, we get like Rise of the New Jedi Order or whatever it's called. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's this gonna be? So for me, as someone who has talked on this podcast many a time that I want to see new things either in the past or the future.
Or the future.
To see icons in both the past and the future. It's like, oh, like, sweet.
Everything. So many goodies.
It's like we're gonna be eating very, 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 very well. So the first film that they were talking about was James Mangold, director of Logan, and now Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is now crossing into the Star Wars universe to make a film thousands of years in the past about the first Jedi. Nani, what did you think about that when you read about it?
That blew me away. Because like you said, we have speculated that we really want stuff really far back in the past. So this is, I mean, we were already getting the ACOLYTE, which is, going back in the past, which is exactly what we wanted. But going all the way back to the first Jedi, I was never expecting something like that to happen. And for it to be that director, I mean, Logan blew my mind. And we haven't watched the new Indiana Jones yet, obviously, but I'm very excited for that. And to have this film, they can do so much with it. They basically have, I mean, he can do whatever he wants almost. I mean, so I couldn't believe it. I really hope this is not one of those projects that slowly gets, shot in the back or taken away. I really, really want this to happen.
It's gonna be incredible because it's one of those things where you don't know what it's gonna be. So it's that sense of like of the unexpected. It's something that I'm really looking forward to.
License. Yeah.
Because that's the interesting thing, because I feel like this project is completely the opposite of then the second project that they announced. Because the second project they announced is a Filoni film, and I was not expecting that. I was just like, oh shit!
Yeah. I was like, they gave Filoni a film.
I'm like, they gave Filoni a film this quickly. Yeah. Like I thought Dave was gonna stay like in TV.
Yeah.
Not to say that I'm surprised that he's making a jump to feature films. And I'm like, oh, because the man is only just learning, right? Like the ropes of like live action, because he's been in animation for so long. So to see that he's so quickly now gonna be jumping into like a theatrical film was a surprise. But as Palpatine says, a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Although I must say, even though I'm excited for that, because I'm always excited for Star Wars, I wasn't as thrilled about the top pick. And it's because it's kind of retreading the same waters to an extent. It's like it's gonna be like the culmination of the Mandoverse, right?
Right.
And so in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, so you're gonna give us more of what we've already been seeing. So yeah, I'm excited because I was like, obviously more Star Wars in a cool era, because we, despite us saying I want to see the past and the future, we still like
It's a cool era.
that
Yeah,
era.
I know. But it
But
is what we've talked about before. It's like we were seeing it happen in the shows a little bit because there's starting to be a lot of crossover between them. And we had talked about like, what are they going to do? Like, do an Avengers thing
yeah, that's
where
exactly what I was
everything
gonna
comes
say.
together. And this is what it is. It's basically the Avengers of the Disney Plus shows. So
But that's the
it
thing.
could be
Is it that?
fantastic,
Is
but
it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Especially with like how season 3 of Mando ended. I'm like not sure where
Yeah, because it ended
it's
kind of like
going.
Mando's going to be its own thing now. So I don't know how they're going to bring everything else together. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's independent contractor of the New Republic, uh,
Right.
which could be cool. But then Skeleton Crew is also part of the Mandoverse. Excuse me, I got some a little bit of gas.
That's
But
fine.
then, but so is Skeleton Crew also gonna be part of the Space Avengers?
Right.
It's like I'm not sure. Like I know that Filoni knows what's up. I know that at the end of
Yeah.
the day it's gonna be good. But right now, since I'm not sure what that is, then I'm kind of least excited for it. It's also because it's not new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see. But the one that I was actually really, 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 really excited for because there were rumblings online, and I remember
Yeah.
I was staying with at the hotel with like Nikki Kumar from Imperial Senate Podcast and Alden Diaz, a good friend of the channel, and we were all speculating right about like these movies, and then Nikki all of a sudden shows us an Instagram post of Daisy Ridley's hairstylist. And Daisy Ridley's hairstylist made a story on Instagram saying like, "Oh, tomorrow's Star Wars Celebration, get excited." And he was saying like,
Oh
"Oh,
God.
Daisy's gonna be there." I was just like, "Dude, I
No.
don't think the hairstylist for Daisy Ridley's gonna,
Yeah.
But hey, jokes
But
on me. Jokes on me because all of a sudden, like, we get an announcement of Daisy Ridley's new film, and it's directed by a fucking badass. I don't know if anyone has like looked it up, but the director of like that new movie. I hope I don't butcher the pronunciation of her name, but Charmin
uh-huh.
Obaid Chinoy. She's incredible filmmaker. Like, she's not as well known in terms of like James Mangold or Steven Spielberg, something like
Right.
that, because she's been more known like for documentaries and things like that. But
Okay.
she's got Oscars under her belt, a bunch of awards. She's done a lot of really cool films and whatnot. So it's really a really good choice, I feel, for like a film like this. And she's going to be heading the new Jedi Order movie with Daisy Ridley coming back into the role as
I know.
Rey Skywalker.
I
And then
know.
Daisy's there. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
holy,
Oh,
we
what?
did it. We did it. This just reminds me of like oh my god, what's the vice president's name? I forgot her name all of a sudden. Uh,
Kamala Harris.
Thank you. Oh my god, it's like the Kamala Harris gif of her saying like, "We did it, Joe."
We
That's how I
did.
felt. That's how I felt when like Daisy Ridley comes out. I was like, "We did it. She's back," and I was so friggin' excited for that. How did you feel about Daisy Ridley coming back in a new Jedi Order movie set 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker?
Again, I could not believe it. I wasn't watching the panel when it happened, and then I heard some rumblings. I was like, that is not true. That's crap. That's not actually happening. And again, jokes on me. I was
Jokes
like so
on
sure. It's
us.
like, this is fake news. This isn't, there's no way this is actually happening. And to when I saw that it was real, I I still have basically no words. I can't believe it. I mean, she looked so excited to be back.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, she did. It was heartwarming.
and for it to be, she's Rey Skywalker. It's years later. She's trying to reestablish the Jedi Order. It's not this lost girl anymore who's trying to find her way. This is her
Master
as a leader
Skywalker. Yeah.
in Mhm. coming into herself, and then maybe trying, maybe here's hoping, successfully being able to do what generations before have tried and
Hmm.
failed at, that even Luke could not accomplish, and to see it as a female character
Hmm.
be the
Hmm.
last line of the Skywalkers, being the heir of Leia, and to be able to see that,
Heir to the
I
Jedi.
wish I was
Yeah.
I wish I was a kid when this was happening. Like, to
Yeah.
see young Leia and Kenobi, and now to see Rey Skywalker being like our next hero. I uh I'm so happy I'm gonna get 2 nieces, and then that they
And you
get
can be
to
like, here you go. Here's Ray's lightsaber.
come with me to watch all this Star Wars. I'm so excited. My nephew as well, obviously, but with the little girls to get this
It's
new
different.
era
It's
of
different.
Star Wars,
Yeah. Yeah.
it hits different. So
It
I'm
does,
I'm
man.
really, yeah.
And it stands to reason that John Boyega's coming back too, because
I know.
even though the Star Wars Lego stuff isn't fully canon, it's canon adjacent, and we kind of got
Jason,
the confirmation
confirmation
that
that
he's
he's mhm,
force sensitive, that he's training with Rey. So it's just like if Rey's new Jedi Academy is happening,
yeah,
then it stands
yeah,
to reason that
yeah,
John Boyega is
yeah.
part of that. Finn's character is going to be a part of that. So obviously, well, not obviously, but we expect to see Finn back. We would expect to see
Hopefully Poe.
Chewbacca back because Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon
Hmm.
are with Rey now. I don't know about Poe. Maybe I can see them not doing the story with Poe, but I
I
can.
know.
But Finn
Yeah.
has to be there.
Well, because I'm still I really want Poe and Finn to happen.
No, no, no.
So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
like a
I'm
chance for
not.
it again.
I'm
So
not saying that. I don't want that to happen. I'm saying that
yeah, I know.
because
Yeah,
otherwise, I think the interesting thing is that it's not going to be episode 9, I mean episode 10.
yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's like a
Maybe
sleeper
it is. I
episode
don't know.
10, and they haven't really announced it in that way. But if it's not
Right.
episode 10, I feel like it really needs to feel
Be its own thing. Yeah.
different from the
Hmm.
saga films, and that
Right.
means kind of like not including some
Everybody.
characters,
Yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
So in that sense, that's why I think like Poe might
Yeah.
be fine
Yeah.
not being in the story, so that it kind of feels like its
Yeah.
own
It's
little
its own.
thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
But definitely Finn. Finn has to be there, and Force Ghost Luke, I think, has to be a part of it somehow, because I can never get enough Luke Skywalker. So
I
here's to
know.
hoping, and I hope, and
Here's
this is just like responsible speculation, even though this movie's
right.
like still like probably like a year and a half or two out. But I think it would be really cool if Rey establishes her Jedi Academy in Jabin 4, the same way Luke did in the
Right.
expanded universe,
Hmm.
and that way it's
Yeah.
again like kind of bringing back those
Tying in
things
with
from
the
the old
old canon.
EU, but
Yeah. Hmm.
still making it new. That would be cool. I would blow a gasket if I see Rey like in the Masasi Temple leading like a class with oh my god, and she has to have a double bladed lightsaber. Come on, give her the lightsaber staff.
Oh,
It needs to happen.
yeah.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Because now we need, because now I imagine Rey's Jedi Order would be akin to what the High Republic Jedi were, uh, but even better. So we'll see like a lot more variety, and the Jedi are gonna be there. A lot more lightsaber colors, lightsaber types. Maybe she will acknowledge that because of what happened to Anakin and Luke, and to an extent, her that attachments shouldn't be forbidden,
Right.
and we'll be able to see like more romance between the Jedi. Maybe she'll even bring Ben Solo back. That would be
Oh,
cool.
then
I don't
that would
know.
be cool.
All I know
Yeah.
is I'm excited. Star Wars,
I know.
it's Star Wars is
Yeah. And
dope right
like
now.
you said, that would be really interesting because I mean, the whole point of Ben's story is that attachment is what saved him. So to be able to have a more open new Jedi Order would be really cool to watch. And,
Mhm, mhm.
take it away a little bit from the indoctrinating,
Right.
you
It's
know.
because like we've seen the
Yeah,
Jedi, and we
yeah,
kind of keep
yeah,
seeing them be same ish. The High
yeah,
Republic has kind of been changed a little bit,
yeah.
like how the Jedi are, but they're
Mhm,
still kind of the same. So it'll be exciting to see if we finally kind of
yeah,
pull the trigger and be like, no, the Jedi,
yeah.
the
We're
Jedi,
not gonna
the
train kids
Jedi need
this
to
way anymore.
fundamentally
Yeah,
change. Yeah.
yeah. We're not gonna steal children from their families. It's gonna be an actual choice. Maybe the families can live close by. Who knows? It's
We'll
open
get
to a lot of possibilities of what they can do. So
we'll get Kyle Katarn somewhere from. I don't know. I'm going crazy now. But
yeah,
very, very excited. What film of the three, rank them in terms of most excited to least excited? 'Cause I already said my ranking. What's yours?
yeah. Uh I think right now the first Jedi one and the Ray film are tied
Oh yeah.
as of right now because it's really open to what we can see, and I'm very very excited about them. And then sadly, Filoni would be the least I'm excited about,
Which is not to
but
say
it
you're not
doesn't
excited.
mean
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
not excited about it. Filoni has done amazing things for Star Wars.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm, mhm.
the Clone Wars elevated the prequels for me so much, and it brought so much into Star Wars animation. And what he's doing now with the Mandoverse and everything, it is really elevating the sequels as well. So he's
Mhm,
done
mhm.
a lot of good for Star Wars. So it doesn't mean that I'm not excited. It's just we know more like what it's probably going to be. So that takes the excitement level down a little bit. But it's still it's amazing. We're getting possibly 3 films that are not a saga. They're their own things. They're all in different time periods, all with different creative energies behind them. And it's Star Wars back in the theaters.
And the opening
So
crawl is coming back, which
that's awesome.
gives me goosebumps just to see the. Oh
Dun,
which I'm
dun.
gonna see soon because they're doing the re-release for Return of the Jedi in theaters for May the 4th.
Okay.
And Chase lives here in Chicago. They and I are going to the Alamo Draft House to see Return of the Jedi
Oof.
in the big screen again. So I'm really
Ah.
excited for that. I was
Oh,
gonna
I didn't
see.
know they were doing that.
Yeah, check Caribbean Cinemas to see if they're
I haven't seen the
doing it.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, because here, AMC, Alamo, a bunch of movie theaters are doing the
Yeah.
re-release for the 40th
Yeah.
anniversary. So
Well,
that'll
anyway,
be
I think you
exciting.
forgot a couple of shows actually. You forgot that we're getting the last season of The Bad Batch,
Oh yes, you're absolutely
which
true. You're absolutely right.
um which we haven't talked about the finale yet. I don't know if I'm ready. It still hurts.
It still hurts, and especially
It
if
still
they gave
hurts.
us a teaser trailer for season 3, and
Oh God.
there's
And it's
more pain.
devastating.
There's more pain
Oh,
coming.
I know. No estoy preparada. And
Nope.
then we're getting Tales of the Jedi season 2, which
Oh
was
right, yeah.
fantastic. Tales of the Jedi was good. But again, these are things that we're already familiar with. It shows that it's the combination. So I am excited that they officially announced that there was a season 3 of The Bad Batch because we got that horrible, terrifyingly sad ending. And I was like, is this
Yeah.
it? Do
No.
we is this how it ends?
And I actually
So
like
I
that it's gonna be 3 seasons because it's kind of like
right.
it's a
Yeah.
trilogy. Like you have
Yeah.
episode 1, which is
Hmm.
I mean episode 4 is kind of okay. Then
Yeah.
episode 5, which is the dark one, and then 3 kind of resolves it. So I
Hopefully.
kind of
Yeah.
like these. I kind of like that it's kind of an arc thing and it wraps it up.
Yeah.
Supposed to it's kind of going forever without really us knowing where it's going, which is what we were talking about with Mando to an extent. And I kind of like that
Yeah.
seasons 1, 2, and 3 were an arc of its own, and now we're starting a
Right.
new arc of the show. So
Right. Mhm.
we'll see. Man.
So anyway, it's a lot of good Star Wars coming our way. So
It's
can't
it's
complain.
it's it can. I mean,
It
some people
can't.
manage. Some people
Ugh,
manage to complain, but I
yeah.
can't. It's just like we're getting
No.
in the books like so far that are coming out. Like a bunch of them are like really really good.
Exactly.
So it's a good time. It's a good time. And comic books,
It's a good time.
we never talk about the comic books enough because I mean I don't read all of them. I know you don't read
Yeah.
a lot of them either. So we're not as plugged into the comic book universe as we probably should. Like our friend Chris Ryans from Broaxium, who's
Yeah.
like super into the comic books. But there's also a
And says they're
bunch of
amazing.
really, 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 really good
Yeah.
stories going on there. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like Star Wars Celebration 2023 was incredible in terms of like again, not just like the fun times at the Novotel bar with all the other great Star Wars friends, but also in terms of like all the announcements of all the stories that we're getting. It's a it's a bright future. It's a bright future. We're
Yeah.
getting
And
a
I
lot of
think
familiar things and a bunch
2023
of new things. So,
and 2023 was like a rough start. So I think now we can
yes,
officially say
the
it's
year started. Yeah.
2023 before Star Wars Celebration and after Star Wars
Yeah, I
Celebration.
think
And
maybe
now
we
we're
should.
really
Yeah,
getting the year started.
we should
Yeah.
rebrand our season to instead of being season 4, it's actually season 4.5 because
Right.
it's kind of like a new
Post
beginning.
celebration days.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
post celebration world, and
Yeah.
it's. I feel like the year really started now, both personally, professionally, like in a bunch
Right.
of different ways. Like I feel like
Yeah.
my year was a little rough
Yeah.
before Star Wars Celebration, and like with Star Wars Celebration, and now this post celebration week that I've been having.
Rejuvenation.
I feel like yeah, I feel it feels good. It feels good. I feel like we're
Yeah.
going in a good direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's it. I don't know if you had any final thoughts
No,
on
I think that's
celebration.
a good way to wrap up there.
Yeah,
Rejuvenation.
on a high note, on a rejuvenation.
Yeah. A good year ahead. We're very close to May the 4th, and we
Yes.
get visions with that. So I think it's going to be a good rest of the year.
Yes, it will.
So stay tuned.
Yes, it will. Maybe there's some changes incoming. Just just
Yeah.
just keep listening to Try Out the Force, because not only will we keep giving you all the goodies that you've been accustomed to, but we might be changing formats a little bit in the maybe we haven't decided, but
Maybe.
we
Yeah.
might be changing some formats, and they'll be more inclusive for engagement. So just stay tuned for that.
So with that, we are Triad of the Force. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you're most excited about of everything that was announced during Star Wars Celebration. We will be back talking about Vision Season 2. We will do the Bad Batch finale when we are ready emotionally to
yes.
handle it. And we will continue to talk about Star Wars and other nerd media that we love. So until next time, may the Force be with you.